Hey guys, so happy National Fragrance Day. So today is National Fragrance Day. I think last year Bath & Body Works celebrated big by doing that Sunshine Mimosa push. We did not get anything, or at least I did not get anything this year. So we are celebrating with a top 12 favorite Bath & Body Works candles of all time video. I think I had a top 10 at one point. But it's probably not up on my channel anymore because it's from my old content. But I wanted to do an updated version with, I was originally going to do 10, but it was just really hard to narrow down so many over the past 10 years. So we narrowed it down to 12 of my most favorite Bath & Body Works candles of all time. And I'll just go in reverse order from number 12 all the way up to number 1. And that's how we're going to celebrate big with National Fragrance Day. So hope you join me on this video as we celebrate this very awesome holiday, and we'll get right into it. So yes, let me know in your thoughts. Let me know in the comments down below what you think my number 1 is, and if you get it right, then you'll get a gold star. So yes. Okay, let's get into number 12. So number 12 on my list is my beloved Apple Pumpkin Pancakes, and that's what that looks like. It's from the fall collection. Has the green wax and the super adorable crimped lid on there. This is from 2015, and this one says, start your day with the satisfying scent of fluffy pumpkin pancakes topped with warm chopped apples and crunchy walnuts. And that's what the bottom looks like right there. And this is what the inside looks like. This has the wicks that have already started to rust and turned color, so I'm not sure this is going to burn properly once I go to burn it. And I think the lid's also kind of rusted too. But still smells great as ever. Oh my god, I love this one so much. This one reminds me of when they were like relaunching White Barn and they started remodeling all the stores, but they used to be the side-by-side ones rather than the store-in-store ones. And my store was one of the like earlier, like the first 10 or so of the White Barns to get remodeled, and I was so jazzed about it. That was back when White Barn still used to have a little bit more like a luxe experience to it. They had a different color bag, they had shopkeeper events, they had like way pretty like floor sets with like home decor items. It was a totally different experience. It was a lot more aimed to be like high-end than what it has become now. And I just loved going in there, and oftentimes like White Barn stores would get like special promos, but also like release some stuff earlier as well. It was just an absolute ball. And this just takes me back to that. And this was like at the peak of my Bath & Body Works addiction, when I would go into White Barn so many times and just like sniff all the candles and just like, you know, get my candle life on. And Apple Pumpkin Pancakes was one of those that I kept going back to buy because I loved it so much. This one smells so good. I think Dutch Apple Waffle is probably the closest thing, but this one's a little bit deeper and a little bit more like maple forward, and not so like candy sweet as Dutch Apple Waffles is. This one has a little bit more of that like deeper like griddle pancake type of fragrance to it, but you get a nice like almost like a spiced applesauce with a maple griddle type of pancake note in there. There's a slight like warm butteriness to it mixed with like a chopped walnuts, and it also smells kind of warm too. It's kind of like a warm applesauce like on top of like a nutty pancake with maple syrup on it, and it's absolutely delicious. It was always strong and it just burned good back in the day. I don't know how it burns anymore, but it was just so delicious. And it was back when they still used to do like the cute photo labels and just like the classic like old school BBW style that I love so much. So that's why number 12 is indeed Apple Pumpkin Pancakes. Number 11 is my, oh my god, another beloved fall fragrance. It just doesn't come back. I think of all 12 of these, only 4 of them are still in current rotation. So, you know, a tier for that. So we have Blueberry Pumpkin Patch right here from the original test scent version when Chocolate Bacon Cupcake came out. And this one came out later on in Blue Wax and made it white then. This one's all the way back from 2012. This one says, harvest the inviting scent of autumn's pumpkins, perfectly ripened blueberries and vanilla praline. And that's what the bottom looks like right there. This one also, the wick has indeed like started to rust color, but it is what it is. Oh my god, this one smells so good too. I would say the closest, like Blueberry Maple Pancakes is somewhat in a similar route. If you've ever smelled Blackberry Bramble Tea or Blackberry Tea Leaf, was it? Or Blackberry Bramble Tea. Those are like the closest ones to this, but they haven't released this exact fragrance to my knowledge ever, like since this actually came out. But it kind of smells like a spiced blueberry muffin. There's definitely like a spicy component to it. It's similar to the spiciness that was in Blackberry Tea Leaf or Blackberry Bramble Tea. A spicy blueberry mixed with like a crumble topping, and there's just like this delicious, awesome like pumpkin spice warm cozy blend in there, and it kind of also smells like, what is it, Trix cereal or something like that, but it also definitely smells like a spiced blueberry muffin, and you get the crumble in there, and it's just totally delicious. I really enjoy it. It was unique, and it's just like so cozy and quintessentially fall. This was still indeed a Slacken & Co scent, as you can see there, rather than BBW branded, but of course it is still a BBW candle. Freaking loved it. Delicious. And yeah, this one's the one I really want to burn it, but this is like the only one I have that I'm just like, oh gosh, I really don't want to. I don't know why I only bought a single one of that blue mass version and blew through it right away and never thought to buy another one. I don't know. That's another one. That's one that I regret for sure. So that was number 11 on our list. Number 10 on our list is Winter Garland. Oh my gosh, this was from the, I think the second release with the kaleidoscope packaging on it. I do have the original one, but that's in my stash. This one is a sparkling blend of cranberry, champagne, and blood orange with notes of balsam, mandarin, and white cedar. And that's what the bottom looks like right there. This one I have burned, and that's what that looks like. So like full-bodied and robust and just like sophisticated and delicious. All in one. You get like this very like deep and almost like a boozy type of like a champagne cranberry, I suppose, mixed with like a slight orange juice note. And then it's mixed with like a very like sharp, like almost like a spruce type of like green tree type of note. Is that what I feel I get from it? It says balsam, mandarin, and white cedar. But yeah, I guess one of those types of like Christmas tree notes, but mixed with like this heavy, like deep cranberry. It's almost like it's been like fermented or like been, you know, like boozed up, you know. There's like a full-bodied fragrance to that like champagne, cranberry, like mandarin blend in there. And it's just like this super like festive, like celebratory Christmas fragrance that just kind of smells like a Christmas party, but in like a sophisticated but still like fun and festive type of way that I really enjoy. But juniper berry and pine, which then became a berry spritzer, is probably the closest thing to this, but it's like a sweet but still like dark and deep berry pine fragrance is what this is probably most easily categorized as. Delicious. This one still occasionally comes out as Mistletoe Magic from Homeworks by Slacken & Co. / Homeworks by Harry Slacken. So you might still be able to find it through those avenues. But of course, I love the 3-wick Winter Garland from the BBW days. So that's the Winter Garland right there. Simply excellent. They don't dare do anything that sophisticated or like layered or robust anymore. It's just always very basic. So yeah, love that. Number 9 on our list is, oh my god, another classic Slacken & Co. Christmas fragrance. It's Merry Mistletoe right here. This one comes back occasionally from BBW now, but I just don't think it's the same as it was the very first year it came out. And this is a magical blend of frosted cranberries, blue spruce, and iced citrus. Make this a merry scent for the season. Very similar in concept to Winter Garland, but it's like the sweeter, juicier, like younger sibling version of Winter Garland, I feel like. It's not quite as like deep or boozy. It's a little bit more sparkly and effervescent. And still that same like festive, like drink, holiday party, like there's a Christmas tree, but you're also drinking something type of like holiday party atmosphere is what you get from both of these fragrances. This one's a little bit more effervescent and bright. But you get a very juicy, this awesome like chilled orange juice note is what you get from this, mixed with that like spruce and citrus. Yeah, it's the orange juice note in here. And there's a little bit of a tart berry action from the cranberries, but then you do get that like whatever the spruce or balsam type of note is, that Christmas tree fragrance. And it's just absolutely delicious and excellent. The later versions, I feel like there's like this harsher, more like slightly like chemical or synthetic like bergamot, like masculine texture to the newer versions that the original version didn't have. Like when you plug in even the original wallflower, it's a little bit more sweet and juicy and pure, and not so heavy on that like slightly like chemical cologne undertone that the newer version has. So maybe they just couldn't replicate it exactly. The original one's like my favorite for sure. So that was Merry Mistletoe right here. This was one of the very first fragrances that actually got me into the BBW fandom. So that was that on our list. Number 8 is another Christmas fragrance that I love so much. This is going to actually be kind of like interchanged with another fragrance, and that is Vanilla Balsam right here. And that's what that looks like in that beautiful matte jar right there. This one's from 2018, but I think this has been out earlier than that. This is Balsam Fir, Frosted Vanilla, and Snow-Capped Pine Needles. And that's what the bottom looks like right there. Yeah, this one can kind of be interchanged with fresh balsam as well, because I still love that one. That's still like very pure and juicy. That this one can be either vanilla balsam or fresh balsam, but this one kind of like edges it out just by a little bit because that extra creamy vanilla isn't there. So it's that awesome, beautiful, like herbal but still crisp and refreshing and sweet, delicious, like fresh balsam fragrance that we all know and love. It's that like what Christmas smells like fragrance from Bath and Body Works, but they mix that with this super cool creamy vanilla that reminds me of like balsam, like fresh balsam ice cream, and it's just so delicious, so smooth and creamy, and just it's just so good. It's like scrumptious, which is weird for a balsam fragrance, but it just is. It's simply excellent. Under the Christmas Tree is also similar to this, but it has like a more warmer eggnog feel to it, which is this is like the more cool, creamy, like whipped cream type of sibling version of that fragrance. Friggin' love it. It's always strong too, and it's just excellent. So that's vanilla balsam right there. Number 7 on our list is Winter White Woods, and that's what that looks like in the original version, as you can see right there. This one still comes out, so we're good to go there. This one is Glistening Icicles, Dried Cedarwood Bark, and Spiced Sandalwood from 2019. This was just a total shock when it first came out, because I was like, I can't believe Bath & Body Works can still put out like awesome, sophisticated fragrances like this. This just totally blew me away. Oh, it's so good. If you recall Yuletide, very similar to that as well, but I think I still like this one more so than Yuletide, even though Yuletide still holds a special place in my heart as well. This is this beautiful smoked woods fragrance mixed with like this powdery, like slightly sandalwood, fantasy, vanilla snow fragrance. But it's like when you walk out into like a winter wonderland and you smell the fireplace going off in the distance from somebody's house. But then you also get like the true realistic sap fragrance from pine needles. And then you mix that with that like fantasy, powdery snow fragrance. It's just simply excellent, delicious. There's like just a lushness and like just a crispness to it. Like it really feels like you're like walking on crisp like snow that's been falling on the ground, and like you walk out there and you smell the smokiness, you smell the pine needle like sap in between your fingers, and then just like this fantasy powdery snow experience, and it's all mixed into one in this beautiful, delicious, like just very nostalgic Christmas fragrance. It's very reminiscent of like the winter garlands and the Meringue mistletoes that we love from Slacken & Co. Just simply excellent. It really smells like it's like a winter white woods. I just love that smokiness in there mixed with that like very realistic, sappy pine needle note that I love so much. So yeah, winter white woods for sure. So that's that right there. Number 6 is the one and only iconic BWC. We have Berry Waffle Cone. This is the original ribbed glass version, as you can see right there. And I just put my own lid on it, and I have burned that one. This one comes out all the time. It's still in rotation. It is slated to come out in a photo label later on this summer, so you can still get this one. This is Sweet Summer Berries, Golden Waffle Cone, and Creamy Vanilla. This version's from 2017, so that was the very first time we got it. Oh my god, it's so good. Like just iconic BBW bakery fragrance, nailed it. Like summer is not complete without burning a BWC all up in my home. And it smells like really like golden, crunchy waffle cone that's kind of like baking in the oven. So imagine like a berry like cobbler or blueberry pie or some kind of like waffly golden like batter crust just crisping in the oven, mixed with a slight warmed, like just a berry something note, and then a slight creamy like vanilla that evokes like melting ice cream on the side of a waffle cone, and you mix that all together, but it's very much like a warm fragrance that has like these really crispy like brown sugar coziness to it that I love so much. It's always usually strong. The wick performance on it varies a lot depending on just which version you have, but it is just simply excellent, and I just can't rave enough about it. I just want them to do like every BWC combination out there, which they kind of do with like warm apple pie and sweet cherry pie and what's the other one? Did I say warm apple pie, sweet cherry pie, and like blueberry pie? But it's not exactly the same as like just shoving BWC with something else. Like I want like berry waffle cone with like lemon or, you know, what have you. Like I just want all of it. But they do a similar crust note in other fragrances. So that does exist. But I just love the one and only iconic original berry waffle cone right here. Number 5 is, oh my gosh, another like summertime beloved, and this is Suntan, and this is from the older packaging. As you can see here, Suntan is also still out in rotation, so we're good to go here. This was the like SAS re-release. When Suntan originally came out, it only came out in a 4-ounce, even though like Summer Boardwalk and like Beach Grass and Beach Cabana came out all in 3 wicks. There were a few of them that only came out in like a 4-ounce, and I think that was like Root Beer Float in Suntan, and we're just like, why are these only out in 4 ounces? And I remember stocking up on the 4-ounce Suntan because I just wanted a 3-wick experience, but then I think they did release it as Poolside, I think in 2013, and then they re-released a Suntan 3-wick for SAS or something for 2014, and that's what we have here. And so I got it this, and it was just so satisfying to get like the 4-ounce label but in a 3-wick version, so I was just super jazzed to get this. But yeah, Suntan is still out. I think it's mainly an online exclusive these days, but at least you can still get it, so we're good to go there. This is like the feeling of the bright sun and warm sand, orange flower, yuzu, and coconut husk, and that's what the bottom looks like right there. Oh my god, simply excellent. This one I haven't burned yet. This is just like a white floral lover's dream. It's very much quintessentially a sunscreen fragrance, but more so like, I've noticed like current generation sunscreens don't really smell like this anymore. They've kind of like tweaked the fragrance. Like Hawaiian Tropic has that more like coconutty, like sort of fruity vibe to it. And then other like spray ones that I use don't really smell like this anymore, but it smells like the old school, like traditional like sunscreen that used to be like the cream and the lotion that you put on. It smells just like that, and it really smells like you're about to go to the beach or the water park, or you're on like summer vacation with your family and you're at the hotel and you're about to go to the pool, and it really smells like a nostalgic, like, you know, sunscreen putting on experience. But a lot of times the sunscreen fragrance has like an orange blossom or neroli note in it, and that's what you get here. And it's just beautiful. It's like summer in a jar. That's why they call it the perfect summer sometimes as well. And it's usually quite strong, just simply excellent. It just reminds me of like all the greatest memories of like going to the beach or like any kind of like vacation that involves water. So I love Suntan so much. And it's also a floral fragrance, so you know I like that. So that was number 5, Suntan right there. Moving on to number 4 is another current rotation one, and this one I just like bought 4 or 5 of them the moment it came out because I loved it so much, and that's Pink Lilac and Vanilla right here. Oh, friggin' love this. This is the original version from 2019, but it is still out now. It's fresh lilac bouquets, dewy greens, vanilla blossom with essential oils, and it had that matching beautiful baby pink wax on that as well. So delicious. This is so good. It reminds me of like basically the next 3 fragrances that are about to follow it in terms of my top fragrances, but it has a floral or like a floral vanilla or like a slightly floral like gourmand blend, which is my favorite category, and this one like nails it. They basically took the fresh cut lilacs fragrance and then added a creamy vanilla blossom note to it, and in the like fragrance oil world there is a actual fragrance oil called vanilla blossom that smells legit like the 1/2 of this candle. It's like they literally took fresh cut lilacs and added the vanilla blossom fragrance oil to it. They also kind of stripped away the fresh cut lilacs in terms of that sort of harsh ozone, like spring air note that kind of chills in the background of fresh cut lilac. They kind of stripped that away, and it's just like the lilac fragrance mixed with a vanilla blossom note. It's delicious. It has like this creamy, awesome, like powdery floral vanilla quality to it. It's just like so pink and girly and feminine. It's always strong, and it's just simply excellent and delicious. This one also seems to sell very well, so it comes back all the time, so you can still get it now. Love it. So that's Pink Lilac and Vanilla right there. Number 3 is a fragrance that used to be a staple in stores, but I think it's finally been phased out. It even used to be online, but it's not online anymore, I don't think either. And that is my beloved, oh my god, Love Rose Vanilla. I bought like a crate of this the moment it came out because I was so obsessed with it. And that's Love Rose Vanilla right here. I have all the body care. This one still has the old school aromatherapy lids on it, as you can see there. And the bottom, which had the old school like black label on it instead. This one just says rose oil and vanilla extract. So delicious. This is so good. It's kind of like the Lush Rose Jam type of fragrance, but a little less jammy and a little bit more vanilla-y, but you get that beautiful like Rosewater and Ivy's Rosewater note, which is that sort of like crisp and clean, but still powdery and floral and feminine rose fragrance, but it's distinctly more rosewater than it is like a green rose on a bush or on a stem, or like not really like a fresh cut rose. You don't really get a whole lot of that like greenery aspect to it. It's more like actually like when you go to smell rosewater, this is what that smells like, mixed with a creamy vanilla, which is once again very similar to the Pink Lilac and Vanilla that I was just talking about. And it's always strong and always delicious. If you recall the C.O. Bigelow Rose Salve, that salve had this fragrance to it as well, a very similar fragrance. Excellent. Just like the most perfect, awesome, like year-round sweet rose fragrance mixed with like just this very neutral, awesome vanilla. I loved it. Like, loved the body care. It was like my #1 forever. Obviously, it's #3 here, but just love the candle. It's too bad it's not out anymore, but I have so many of them. So that was the Love Rose Vanilla right here. I can't recommend this one enough. #2 is actually Pink Petal Tea Cake. She has been bunked down to #2. That's what that looks like. This is the OG Pink Petal Tea Cake from the, oh my god, beloved Garden Party collection. This one was from 2014. I can't believe it's been that long. Tea for Two becomes even sweeter with the fragrance of Pink Petal Tea Cake made from garden rose petals, freshly baked cake, and vanilla glaze. And that is what that looks like right there. And this one is unburned. And just to take a trip down memory lane, I do have all the other Pink Petal Tea Cakes as well because I'm just like such an enthusiast of it. We have, let's see, the soft Pink Petal Tea Cake version, which was the Candle Day one. This is indeed the same fragrance if you ever see it floating around on Mercari or eBay. It's the same fragrance. They just added that stupid like soft like subtext to it, or headline rather, and that's what that looks like, and you can see that right there. This one was from 2017. We also have the Candle Day online exclusive version, as you can see right here, and that's what that looks like. And this one's from 2018, and that's what the bottom of that one looks like. And then lastly, we do have the Sweet Shop 2.0. I couldn't believe when this came out. I was like, oh my god, it's finally getting like a wide actual like permanent, like a seasonal release rather than like a quick like Candle Day release. And that's this version with the awesome juicy like Sweet Shop 2.0 label there, the black lid, and that's what that looks like right there. Delicious. Freaking love it. I think this one actually burns the like best and strongest or most consistent of all of the ones that we have. So this one's probably my favorite in terms of performance, but yes, delicious. Yeah, this came out all the way back in 2014. I was like the only one ever talking about it. Like no one ever talked about it. There was a lot of like repackages in this collection. There was like a First Bloom and a Honeysuckle. There's a Sugarberry Spritzer, but that didn't make it. Why? Like Watermelon Lemonade was in there. Garden Party, which was another excellent fragrance, was in there. But Pink Petal Tea Cake kind of just got slept on. No one really talked about it, but I just loved it to pieces. I just remember raving about it on like every video during that time, like that era. And I would burn it all the time. I mean, I would like polish these off like on a weekly basis, and I was just like totally in love with it. And it was a lighter fragrance back then, but I was willing to put up with it because I loved it so much. And just remember sitting on my couch and like smelling Pink Petal Tea Cake and just like going through like one like after another over and over again. That normally doesn't happen, and I just like totally fell in love with it. But basically, it smells like a rose petal cake, and it's delicious. What you get is, it's kind of similar to strawberry pound cake, but if it had a rose twist to it. And if you actually read the secondary list of notes on Pink Petal Tea Cake, strawberry was actually a note that was listed on there. So it's like this, like think of like fondant, like pink fondant on like a strawberry like cake or something, but the fondant is like rose flavored. It's just so delicious. It's like this very candied, sugary, sweet rose petal fragrance that's kind of like in a pink fondant or something, with like a just like an awesome juicy like cake note in the middle, and there's like a whisper of a strawberry sweetness kind of like baking through the fragrance as well to give that sort of extra sweetness. My sister was actually burning this in her room once, or her house rather, and I came in and I was like, that smells a lot like strawberry pound cake, but it was actually Pink Petal Tea Cake. So they do have similarities. It's just this is like the rose floral sibling version of it, whereas strawberry pound cake is just heavier on the strawberry, but similar concept. But it's like this awesome, delicious like rose cake fragrance, and it's so delicious and so good. It's another like pink, feminine, girly fragrance, which you can tell I love a lot of those. And so yes, Pink Petal Tea Cake right here at #2 for sure. I mean, this and the #1 can kind of interchange, but I think I like #1 just a slightly bit better. And that brings us to indeed #1, and that is a Rosewater Meringue right here in the original like test store collection. But we do have the later wide release of Rosewater Meringue in the super darling cute packaging of this one as well. And this one's from 2019. The notes on it read fresh rosewater, spun pink sugar, and creamy vanilla bean, and that's what that looks like. This one also, to my surprise, got a body care release, which you better know I stocked up on all of that. I was so jazzed when the body care came out. Yeah, they smell the same. Absolutely delicious. Oh my god, yeah, I think I do like this one a little bit better than Pink Petal Tea Cake. This one is a little bit more floral in my opinion, because that rosewater is a little bit more stronger and more, just has a little bit more oomph and strength to it. It's that same crisp, awesome rosewater that we get from like Love Rose Vanilla or Rosewater and Ivy is most certainly in there, but it's mixed with like this creamy cotton candy sponge sugar element in there that gives it like this like sort of I don't want to say crunchy, but like a crystally sparkling, like spun sugar type of cotton candy fragrance to it. But I do believe there's a slight like berry jam note in there that reminds me a whole lot of like a raspberry jam or something. So think of like a raspberry cotton candy mixed with rose water, and it's just like the most delicious, truly like a rose water meringue fragrance. I guess you even get the texture of the meringue, of it being like that sort of crunchy, crispy, just like sweetness that you get from a meringue fragrance. And it's just so delicious, so awesome. It's like a rose cotton candy fragrance, and I love it so much. I couldn't believe like Bath & Body Works came out with something like this. Love it. I wish they would do more stuff like this. I was kind of hoping like honeysuckle and peach spritz would be a little bit more floral heavy in the way this was, but it wasn't. But yeah, this is kind of like Pink Petal Tea Cake, very much like Pink Petal Tea Cake, but just like a different like take on a rose gourmand scent, and it's strong. It burns usually quite well, and I just friggin' love it. Love the packaging and just everything on it is just absolutely snatched. So I love Rose Water Meringue so much, and the fact that we also got body care was excellent. If only we could get Pink Petal Tea Cake body care, but we have not yet, even though we have like put that onto the universe many times. So yes, and whoo, hope you enjoyed this top 12 of my favorite Bath & Body Works candles of all time. I've been collecting since 2011, I believe, and we're now in 2022, so that's over 10 years worth of collecting and smelling, and these are indeed my top 12 favorites. Of course, there's other fragrances that I love so much, but if I had to like narrow it down to the ones that were kind of like representative of all the seasons and what I truly love, then I think these 12 would be it. Let me know if any of these are your favorite, or if any of them are your least favorite. Let me know in the comments down below. And happy National Fragrance Day. Enjoy your candles and fragrances. I know they bring me a lot of joy, and I hope they bring you a lot of joy as well, especially if you're watching this channel. They probably do. So thanks so much, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.